Before we get into the video, make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe if you're new. I mean, come on, what are you doing if you're not subbed to me by now? My content is fire, from stop motions, news videos, reviews, music occasionally. All my social media accounts are linked down below, and now, let's get straight to it. What's up, you guys? Thank you for clicking on this video. So, we have a bit of an interesting topic to talk about today, people. So we have some extra images of Studio Series Voyager, Bumblebee movie, Shockwave, and, you know, vehicle mode images of the tank mode. Looks pretty decent. It's about what you'd expect from a Cybertronian tank with Shockwave. Very reminiscent of his Prime show tank design, in my opinion. Extra shots of the robot mode. Looks pretty good. Got some poses. Got him compared next to Voyager Class B movie, Starscream and Soundwave, and those look great together. Very nice pairing, and it seems like Shockwave is a really big Voyager, almost a leader class sized height for these modern day figures these days. So it seems like they really made this a bigger, beefier Voyager class than what we're used to with the newer ones these days, but it's probably around the same height and size as the older Voyagers from 10, 15, 20 years ago, but still cool to see a bigger sized Voyager in the modern era. And seeing this dude with the accessories, so you got the hose for his cannon, and then you have the cannon itself, which is a separate piece. No circle jerk jack off hands, which is great. Love that sculpted detail. Hope they do it more on future releases going forward. And then you have him compared next to the Prime Voyager class, and man, this is interesting. Yeah, definitely some inspiration, I'd say, for the tank mode. Like, basically the same layout. The legs become the front section of the tank, the arm has become the back section, and of course the cannon just sits on top with the chest in the middle. It's pretty much like a live action interpretation of this, so pretty cool to see that side by side, and you got the robot mode side by side too, and it seems like the new Studio Series one is just a little bit taller, so that's pretty cool to see that a new figure is taller than an older figure, which you actually do see quite often, but you know, it's kind of weird to see sometimes, because a lot of newer figures are also smaller than their older first versions made. But enough of that out of the way. So people have been saying that this figure has no bicep swivel. Yeah, it seems like it really doesn't. Looking at these images, or this new image from the back of the figure, there's no bicep cut at all. We're pushing these Voyager class figures are pushing $40. These things are $35, and then after tax it's like $37, $38 here in the US. In Canada, these things are like $50. You know, this is almost import prices for mainline Hasbro products, and the fact that we can't get bicep swivel, are you kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me right now? I mean, sure, he's a little bit taller than your modern day Voyager, which even that in itself is a lousy excuse. They've done bigger Voyagers the past few years, and they have even more articulation than the basic standard for modern day Transformers. So I don't know why. And plus, the engineering seems pretty freaking simple on this guy. So yeah, I have no idea what their thinking is here. It seems like he might have, what do you call it? A lower elbow swivel, which, I don't know, when they have those included, it helps when you have the bicep swivel as well to complement it, but if you just have the lower elbow swivel, like near the wrists, it makes no sense. Like, it seems like there is a cut there because of how the gun has to fit on the arm. It looks like you maybe pop the arm off, or I don't know. I honestly don't know how that's gonna work, but bruh, this just looks so dumb. Why would they not add bicep swivel? It makes freaking no sense. The simplistic engineering on this guy, from the looks of it, it's just icing on top for this to just not make sense at all, for them to not add bicep swivel on this freaking figure. It makes no sense. But I don't know. I don't want to rage too much in this video. It just pisses me off that we can't have a simple bicep swivel when Hasbro prides themselves with these modern day transformers, touting that they have all types of articulated points on these newer figures, which is true. These new figures have more articulation than most older figures from 10, 15 years ago. I don't know, it just makes no sense that in these last 4 or 5 years they've been advertising better added articulation joints on these Transformers figures from Hasbro, and they can't even add a bicep swivel on such a hyped up live action Bumblebee movie release such as freaking Shockwave. I mean, this is Shockwave. You would think they would want to go all out with the articulation and at least adding the basics of bicep swivel, but nope, we thought wrong. I thought wrong. Hasbro seems to not have done that, and they've just opted for that stupid lower elbow swivel that really does nothing in the grand scheme of things, unless like I said, unless you have the bicep swivel itself to help complement it for certain poses. That's the only way that the lower elbow swivel works. But yeah, I don't know, man. This is just another sign of Hasbro just doing dumb stuff sometimes because of the budget. This thinning, cheap budget, it seems like every year. More exposed mushroom pegs on these figures that we didn't used to see before. It seems like every mushroom peg is exposed on these new releases. I know for a fact I'm not the only one that's noticed this. I've seen it in people's videos pointing it out that, oh, why are there more exposed mushroom pegs on these newer releases? It's because Hasbro doesn't want to fill this stuff in. They want to cheapen the budget. They want to cut corners as many places as possible. And I want to put this on the record. I'm not blaming the designers themselves for this. You know, Mark, Evan, all those guys, Sam. It's the people in charge of them that are giving them these budgets to engineer these figures. It's their fault. They are trying to please their own bosses. They're trying to please their shareholders and whoever else, and they want to make as much money as possible, especially since how crappy their 2023 has been and them laying off like 2,000 workers this year, which is pretty crazy if you think about it in the grand scheme of things for Hasbro. So it makes sense that they're cheapening out in certain areas to start off in 2024, and especially going into 2025, expect maybe more stuff similar to this, and maybe expect a slight price increase, which would be absolutely ridiculous. But hey, this is just what we're dealing with these days. It's kind of ridiculous, but I mean, it just is what it is. I can't do anything about it. Most people watching this video can't do anything about it. So yeah, that's pretty much all I want to say in this video. Don't want to ramble on too much longer, but yeah, let me know down in the comments below. What do y'all think about this Studio Series Shockwave figure potentially not having any bicep swivel? All my social medias are linked down below: Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, all that good stuff. My email is also down below if y'all want to hit me up about business inquiries, or if you want to message me about whatever, or if you want to commission a diorama from me, because I make dioramas for people for their stop motions photography or just regular display shelves in their homes. You can either hit me up on any of my social medias or just email me and we can work out a deal. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching this video. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Bye!